Hi there, my name is Ian Rogers and I am the writer of The Blacksaw.
Hi, I'm Gordon Court, and I'm the comic artist of Blacksaw.
Hi, my name is Stefan Grambart, and I was the main writer on the Broken Spectre game story, and then was also the editor for the Blacksaw Webtoon.
The Blacksaw is a cosmic horror story set in northern British Columbia, Canada, about a man who is traveling across the world to climb this infamous mountain that no one's ever reached the top of. This mountain is sort of known for devouring people, metaphorically speaking.
No one's ever made it to the peak. There's constant bad weather that keeps the peak veiled from the world around it.
Getting to the top of the mountain is only the least of his problems.
The type of horror for Blacksaw, I would say, first and foremost, is a psychological thriller.
There's elements of survival horror from the game industry. There's definitely cosmic horror from classical horror literature. And there's also this sort of, I don't know what to call it, maybe like Art Nouveau horror.
When it comes to inspirations for the Blacksaw, I would say primarily it came from Algernon Blackwood, a British writer who was his work in supernatural fiction was kind of synonymous with nature. They're sort of rooted in this idea of nature being not just a place of wild, unexplored space, but an area where something beyond nature, something supernatural might actually live and lurk and doesn't want humanity encroaching on. I think what piqued my interest in this project was both the opportunity to work in the medium of comic books as well as video game development. I've always wanted to do more work in both areas, and this was sort of a unique opportunity where I got to do both at the same time. The favorite part of the webcomic writing process for me was collaborating with Gordon Court, the artist. Gordon's great. Gordon and I, we had a video chat shortly after we started corresponding, and we just hit it off immediately.
I very much enjoyed working with Ian. He's a great writer, and it turns out we have a lot in common. We're planning to grab drinks when this is all wrapped up.
Our opinions on a lot of things really gelled as well too, which was even better. And I think that also helps to strengthen the creative relationship when you're working on a project like The Blacksaw.
What piqued my interest in this project was the subject matter. I haven't done too many dark and spooky comics or even really drawings. So it's always good to step outside your comfort zone, and this seems like a really cool project. My inspiration mainly for Blacksaw is I grew up watching a lot of detective shows. One of my all-time favorite was Poirot, which is a bit past the Victorian age, but there's a lot of aesthetics that held over since that point. That and this reference studies, searches. It was really interesting to see specifically how mountain climbers in the 1800s didn't really have any gear. They would just wear petticoats and turtlenecks, and the women would be in full dresses. Really illuminating to see.
The ones who I think would enjoy The Blacksaw the most would be pretty much any horror fan, frankly. I think that there's something there for everyone, whether you're a fan of cosmic menace or ghost stories, sort of hidden ruins, archaeological tales, and straight up monster stories. It's got a bit of everything in it.
The fantastic imagery and the very specific and very detailed design of the horror world really almost becomes like an artwork in and of itself. And that's one of the things I really like about the graphic novel.
If there's one particular scene that I'm most excited for readers to discover, it would be the scene at the Blacksaw itself. It's truly terrifying. It provides a really cool twist to the story without making it feel like a gimmick. And it really introduces something that I always wanted to write about, even in my own fiction, was sort of a Canadian version of Stonehenge, almost like a darker version of Stonehenge. I think in the story I refer to it as Stonehenge's evil twin brother.
I think it's going to really increase the value you get out of playing the game. It adds a lot of context to the events and to the story that unfolds in VR without actually really spoiling anything. So it's going to be a really fantastic ride.
The Blacksaw webtoon makes me really excited about the Broken Spectre VR.
I'm actually looking for headsets now because I want to play it as soon as it comes out.
I think it provides a standalone story while also planting the seeds of the enjoyment for the game itself. It does stand on its own, and I think it connects with the game in such a great way that it enhances it without spoiling any of the cool mysteries and reveals that you're going to find in Broken Spectre.
Whenever two mediums get to contribute to the same overall whole, makes me very excited.
I think The Blacksaw is a really amazing story in its own right. And even if you don't have a VR headset and you don't plan on playing the game, you're still going to get something really exciting from this graphic novel, from this story.